Hi, I'm Words here, and I'm making a game. I haven't done these in a very long time, and it is Monday, and I'm doing this one for today, actually. So, let's see. I haven't had a chance to even start. So, there's this side-scroll thing that I'd made, the side-scrolling game. I'd been working on that. And, I've changed that a lot from what I had before. It controls a lot better than it used to. You can jump a little further without being floaty. You can press and hold to make it jump higher. I might even explain the code for all that too, but I'd done all this after I'd kind of given up on these videos. I actually got the physics working exactly how I wanted to, and then I kind of ripped it all out because now that's all gone. I didn't like the feel of it. It was really not something I would have kept in for gameplay. It was more like something I was playing with just for the fun of it. Okay. I had actually gone ahead, I moved all of the code into scripts, which I can't click on. Scripts, like that. They're all over here now, so that I can move everything around, and I don't have to look at this big chunk of code for everything. I can just click on whatever it is I'm looking at specifically. So I have this one, and that one, and the other one. Doesn't matter which one was what, don't think about it. uh, let's see. Mostly what I did was rip stuff out, so I can't really show you anything. The only interesting bit might be in the vertical adjustment bit, which is to say the part where it makes you fall. I changed it so that it only, let's see, it basically hold weight right here, this number, when it's 0, that means you're not, either you've pressed and held the space bar for the amount of time that it allows you to press and hold it to increase the jump, or you've let go of it. And either way, that's when you actually, gravity starts to affect you, otherwise it doesn't, so that's how you're actually able to jump up higher. I tried a couple of different ways. I'd made it so that pressing and holding the spacebar increases your jump, but it made you, it gave you kind of a bell curve when you jumped, which looked very odd. You know, like a bell curve, if I may illustrate, because illustrating is a thing that I do on these. I remember how to do these. I also remember how to talk. You know, a bell curve like that. It looked very odd when you jumped, as opposed to, you know, like you expect to kind of jump up, and like it's kind of a bell curve. It's not really a bell curve at all, is it? You jump and then you hit the ground, you know, like that normally. It was kind of like this. It looked very odd. But that's back to that now. It's just gravity affects you only when you're, you know, not hold weight, whatever that means. And then I also changed it. I also added. I haven't actually added attacking yet, but when you press Z, you attack, and it actually lets you kind of float in the air. It also makes you can't move, but I thought that was kind of fun. Obviously, I think in a full version of this, it would be only, that would actually only happen when you hit something. I don't think you'd be able to just float like that whenever you felt like it. That'd be kind of silly, but it's just a test, really, and that's not what I'm working on today. You're welcome. Thank you for that time waster. Okay. What I want to work on, and here's where we were with this. I don't know if I'd shown you all of this. Like, you can only see one of the guys down here because I've got that. I've got the I got the vision of your characters. I've got vision of your team working. So those guys don't show up until at least one of your guys can see them. And I also added W. You can press W and your guys will wait. When I unpause, they'll just stand there. And before, what would happen was before you would have to, if you tried to unpause, it would just sort of repause because somebody still didn't have an action. So you can press W now, and that will cause them to wait, and then you can unpause, and they'll. I might attach something to them, tell them like to say they're waiting. And as you can see, they miss a lot, and that's one of the things I want to work on. I need to. Well, that's actually the thing that I need to work on. I need to get it to where. I need to figure out how to do these. I need to figure out how to do the combat. I need to figure out how to make it work. I need to figure out how to what the ranges are. Like if it goes from 1 to your accuracy and then compares that to their dodge, and if so, does it like attack like, crit or attack hit is the one that says determines whether or not it's a hit. All it does right now is it does from 1 to the accuracy of the attacker, and if that's greater than or equal to the dodge of the attacked, then it hits. And that's it. And what I'm thinking about is potentially just dumbing down accuracy a bit, so that well, what I need is actually it's dodge that really ought to be dumbed down. Because what I need is I need to make it so that if they've got like if they're around the same level, it ought to be kind of a 50-50. No, actually, really, if they're around the same level, I guess they have to be hitting each other all constantly. Well, if they're well, the problem is the question is if they're the same level on that specific skill. So I think if they're the same about the same, it should be like so it should really be like dodge half, like divided by 2. So let's just do that. That should make it so that they should hit a lot more. In fact, depending on what I've got it set to, I've got them set up to give themselves random from 6 to 11 on their stats. So if their dodge is 6, it's actually 3. So what that literally means is a good way to explain it, and it's sort of like how in Dungeons and Dragons when you increase your attributes, whenever you I don't remember when you do that. It's like every few levels or something. Every 2 levels or 3 or something like that. I don't actually remember. I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons in a while. You actually every time you increase it, it only gives you essentially half, and it doesn't even count until it gets to a full, but it only gives you half another point of actual like bonus. So you have to get 2 of them in order to get 1 actual like increase. And so it would be the same thing here. Every 2 points of dodge would actually just count for 1 point of dodge. You wouldn't actually know that. The idea is to make it so that I'd have to basically I'd make it so that if these skills are even, it means that they're about even, and like whatever check is done ought to give you like half that power, or give you half a chance of hitting or whatever, because you're even, so it's a coin flip. So accuracy, so I just divide dodge in half and say accuracy from 1 to 11. So if they're both at 6, it would give you 1 to 6, or it would give you 1 to 6 on accuracy, and I would give you 3 on dodge. So you'd have a 3 and 6 chance of hitting, and that's 1 and 2. It's a half a chance. That's a coin flip. But if accuracy is 11, well, and that's the thing. It also means I wanted it to be. I'm kind of back and forth on this. Right now, because it goes from 1 to your accuracy, that means that it's possible to always it's possible to miss no matter how good you get. I think that's fine. I think that ought to be an option, but at the same time, it seems like I don't know. It depends on how I end up making the skills move as you level up, if you know what I mean. As in how they increase. The way I want it to increase is it's going to be sort of like effort values in Pokemon, except you get them. You do certain actions, and it gives you effort values in, say, accuracy. Like if just I don't know, attempting to hit with certain weapons, that sort of thing, And you get every point when you get enough points and enough of those effort values, that's when you level up, and it actually does a random number from 1 to the number of effort values you've gotten, and then and basically that's how it and basically if it falls within the range, if this one if you've got 3 effort values in accuracy, it would be 1 to 3 would give you a point in accuracy, and then if you got 2 points in dodge, it would be 4 to 5. 4 or 5 would give you a point in dodge, etc. So that way it means that whatever you've been doing the most, you'll actually get sort of like the Elder Scrolls. You'll be more likely to get something in that point, in that attribute. But and depending on how that ends up making the skills move, it might depending on how high they can get, how quickly they can get there. That'll determine that might determine exactly how this works. Because if they go up pretty high, it might not matter that there's always that chance that you'll miss or that you'll, whatever, because especially in real time, you're going to be constantly trying to hit, and if you get 1 miss out of 100, it's going to be fine. As long as if the other guy has this just really, really, really low dodge and your accuracy is 100, and that 1 in 100 chance of them of you missing isn't going to matter. So hopefully that should be fine. I think it's right now I'm gonna keep it kind of arbitrary. I'm gonna try to just sort of finagle. I'm gonna make stuff up basically and figure out how this works. But for now, we're doing it this way. We're going to go ahead and test this out. So, okay, what we've changed is it's now half dodge. We're trying to attack that same guy now. Oh, see? They're missing a lot less. Well, quite a bit less. Still, well, it's half. It's mostly. What I want to work on is the status bars at the bottom, where you've got like all these guys, you know, statuses like that, and then all the action up here. So, what I'm gonna go into, the draw for a game. I'm gonna start adding that in. I guess I don't know what to draw for the image. We'll just make a generic sprite, I guess. So it's gonna go through each player, and what we're gonna draw is our sprite, or each character, each team member. There. I guess this is gonna draw very wonky, but that should work, sort of. Okay, yeah, that's the idea anyway. Not quite right, really, though, is it? For various reasons. There. Now I'll have it drawing from 10 over from the edge of the view to 10, and then 10, and then 100, and then 100, and then, you know, like that should work, I think. Let's find out. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all your guys, and that's the portrait, air quotes, for the character. Obviously, that's actually highly accurate, I would say, at this point. But obviously, it needs to be a little more, and I'm just gonna guess, or I could actually figure it out based on like the size of the thingy or whatever. Blah blah blah. Words, stuff, doesn't matter. I'll just guess, and we'll fade cut. Okay, so this works because there's this little thing called view x view, and that's the view that's the X position of the view in the room, and that's why it actually pans with the view, is because I'm using that to tell it where to draw it. All right. Now I need to go ahead and draw next to that all that information. We'll draw a line. We'll draw the 3 lines. We have to draw them so that they're next to that each portrait, and we're going to draw 3 red lines. And then we're going to draw over those 3 red lines. We're going to draw green. Let's say blue. I don't know, purple, whatever, something for energy. All right, there we go. That'll have to work. That took a bit more trial and error than you think. Okay. I just need it visible. I can fix it later so it actually looks perfect. Don't need it to be perfect right now, just need it to work. So let's see. So we've drawn one line. Let's draw the next one. Copy and paste. Haha. And now we get this, which is not quite what I was hoping for, but that'll do for now. We have to now actually add in the a second set of lines that'll actually take into account the status of the character. But ta-da! And those last 2 are energy and then morale, I believe. Okay, and now you can see, if you look. Now you can't tell who's who, obviously. God, but you can actually see that, you know, whose energy is going down, and eventually I'm going to make it so you can click on these, and I'm going to have to actually I can actually figure out exactly how big each one ought to be and how much space they'll take up in order to determine that. But that'll make it so I can click on one, and it's actually going to display. It's going to maybe draw the green box around there and display who's. You'll eventually be able to, you know, so that way you can click on him. You can say, oh, this guy's got a little health, and I'll click on him. And I can go ahead and do that now, I guess. I think I have time. We'll see. And let's go ahead and add that. That's global right plus. So we'll add event. Mouse. Global. Left pressed. And that should actually gives us the event for when you left click anywhere on the screen. And we'll say Well, after a bit of work, I've gotten this to, well, work. So as long as you're down below inside of that area of the statuses, and you click on one of those, it should actually give you the correct number for that character. Thusly, see, it all works, because I am so smart, and I definitely see, thanks to that fade cut, I clearly know exactly what I'm doing. Okay, now it should work, in theory. Let's tell everybody to wait first, so we can actually give everybody the wait command. Now I should just select anybody I want, and that should go to the last guy there, second to last, first guy, middle guy. It works. Done. And that's a great stopping place, which is what I was going to, which was what I was searching for. It was a stopping place, I guess. If you like clicking on things, subscribe. If you like status bars, like. Or, even better, do both. Or whatever. Anyway, bye.